The group stages are done. 32 teams remain, and the bracket has just confirmed that Messi and Ronaldo can only meet in the final. Football gods, no pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of Foot and Review World Cup Daily, episode 27 and day 17 done. Group stage is complete. I'm Shaq here, joined by the legendary Tolando 77. How you doing, James?
Hello there, Shaq. Good morning, good afternoon to our listeners and watchers. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Lots of football. It's been a wonderful Sunday. So we've had football all day here on Sunday and Sunday morning in Australia. So it's been a good day. Lots to discuss. So yesterday we had 6 games. Messi came off the bench and became the first player in history to score 7 consecutive World Cup matches. Algeria against Austria. Algeria thought that they were through in the 93rd minute, and then Kalajis equalized. I butchered the name there, but I promise I practiced that. Iran are out, and Colombia outplayed Portugal, but could not score. 6 games. I'm going to miss having 6 games, but let's get into them. Let's break down the first game that happened today, which was England versus Panama. 2-0 victory to England. The first half felt like a bit same to same of England, but I think the second half they just came out and obviously kind of stumbled their way to a 2-0 win. I don't know if you saw much of the game live, but James, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I seen it, Shaq. First half, it wasn't that great, was it? Second half, still not really that great. I think England done what they had to do, really. Bellingham, though, I thought he had a fantastic game. I was very, very impressed with him. And then, of course, if England ever need a hero, it's always Bellingham or Kane. So the two of them done the double act. So pretty good for England, and they topped the group. That's right, Shaq?
That's correct. They did top the group, yep. But I think from all perspectives, especially considering the first game was such a good result against Croatia and performance against Croatia, the second game being decent against Ghana, where they tried their best, but Ghana just was resolute. This game with Panama, I think everyone just assumed that England would just rise to the occasion, just go ahead and get some goals in. And I think Rashford had some really good shots from the get-go as well. He was threatening today, but it's just... It's a bit shaky all over the place, from the defense all the way to the forward line, where nothing much was happening till Bellingham just scored like a Wondergoal. So can this team actually go any further than maybe the quarterfinals, you think, James?
Well, if they go any further, Shaq, it'll be down to Tuchel. I think he's a very, very astute manager. I think there's positive signs for England, and it's still early days, Shaq.
Yeah, I think there's still a bit of tinkering going along, because there was no Declan Rice today because he was injured. And also the wingers. We had Gordon, then we had Rashford today, who played well. We had Madueke, and Saka started today. So I think there's a lot of changes happening there. And then Rogers started today as well. And I think that I don't know if Tuchel's able to put out his best 11 possibly. And that's probably hindering them a little bit. But I think... he did say in the press conference later on that his teams will play better against better teams, which is no diss to Panama or Ghana, but I can't see this team beating France, for example. No chance.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Words, talk is cheap, but it's actions that count, Shaq. But yeah, France the other night was just absolutely fantastic team to watch. So I don't really feel that England's on France's level just yet.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Well, let's just see how this shapes up. And I think in the next round, England's got I don't know if it's a gimme, but it's got another tough proposition in DR Congo. So let's see what England can do in the next round there. At the same time, we had Croatia taking off against Ghana. And this was an interesting game because Croatia really withstood the block from Ghana, but then all they realized was, we probably need to take shots from far, and they had a brilliant strike from distance, and they just went ahead, and Ghana equalized in the 73rd minute. But again, in the 83rd minute, Luka Modrić, as usual, provided an assist, and Croatia won that game 2-1 against Ghana. So don't know if you saw much of this game as well, mate, because I was focusing more on the England game. I just saw the highlights on this particular game. It seemed like a pretty good game. Seems like Croatia had some control, and looks like Croatia is not the Croatia we saw in match day 1.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. Yeah, I'm yourself. I actually watched the England game over this, but I seen the highlights. But also the first goal for Croatia, absolute doozy
Yeah.
outside the box, fantastic. But then it looked like maybe just a more routine win for Croatia, and then that's them through being second.
Correct. And look, it's neither here nor there with Croatia coming second because they face the mighty Portugal in the next round, which we will discuss Portugal in a second, but I think that's a decent fixture for both parties concerned, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A tasty fixture.
Yeah, it should be a fun fixture. Well, let's just quickly move on to Colombia, Portugal, because this is a game that I was really interested in watching how things would pan out. And I happened to see a snippet from ESPN FC where a commentator from ESPN FC said exactly these words. His words were after the first game when Portugal drew to DR Congo was the next game, they're going to play against Uzbekistan. Ronaldo's going to come out, score a couple of goals. Everyone's going to think everything's back to normal. We'll come back here against in the third game, Portugal, Colombia. We'll have the same sort of outcome that we've had versus DR Congo. And if you look at it, it's exactly as he said has happened. Ronaldo came out, scored a couple of goals. Portugal scored five. It looked like everything was back and under control. And come back to this game where they just looked teethless. But Colombia looked amazing in this game. It was a 0-0 by all stretches, but it was a really fun 0-0. Your thoughts, James?
Yeah, definitely. If there was a 0-0 ever to be entertaining, it was certainly this match. Definitely, especially the first half as well. Colombia went all out, shots from outside the box, but not only that, their accuracy was very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, just toothless from Portugal, tactical decisions from Martinez. I feel Martinez has been in this situation before. Like we've touched on in every really pod that me and you do. Portugal, he's done it with Belgium, and I feel he still hasn't learned from his mistakes from them.
Yeah, and looking at them today, there was this huge issue, and I read this other thought piece, which was very interesting. Where if you looked at Portugal playing today, there was points where the commentator was literally pointing out where the ball was being passed from the wings, for example, the fullbacks, and you could see 3 to 4 players in the Portugal's attacking third just standing still, just literally standing still, waiting for the ball at feet. There was not a
hmm
single one making a movement, and you think that just doesn't work. You can't have 3, 4, 5 luxury players who are just wanting to create something constantly. That's not going to make you go score goals. You flip that, and if you paid attention to, we'll discuss the Argentina game that happened today, but the other two Argentina games where it's literally set up for Messi, and everyone is doing all the donkey's work, going back, trying to protect the ball, trying to get the ball back. Whereas in Portugal, that wasn't happening, and that was they were lucky not to concede. But I can't see this team continuing this way and winning the World Cup. It's just not possible.
I would love to. I agree with you, Shaq, but I've got Portugal on my hat. Portugal's my team. I've said for the very start, I would love Portugal to win this tournament, and I'm backing them. It's
Yeah.
still it's still early days. I'm still going to go in early days and hope to God that my eyes are deceiving me, Shaq.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still early days. Hopefully they can come out in the knockout stages and just go all guns blazing.
Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope so. But I think as we discussed this in nauseum last time around, James, which is why I don't really want to open the can of worms of should Ronaldo keep playing or should Ronaldo not play. But it's not feasible to continue this way, and it seems like they need to change something. I think last time you did suggest on the pod that they should bring in João Felix, and that really did spark something in the second game. This time around, he
Yes.
tried to do much. He still was active, but I can't tell you exactly what they need to fix it. But I think if they start even a half without Ronaldo and see how it goes, they might find a huge difference in the way the attacking third just flows.
Well, we'll see. If Martinez is actually going to do that, first and foremost, easier
Mm.
said than done. If he's actually going to do that, I don't see him dropping Ronaldo for the first knockout stage at all, Shaq. But I totally understand what you're saying. There's so much firepower, there's so much creativity behind Ronaldo that it's not happening at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. In this particular game, Colombia created 1.63 xG compared to Portugal's 0.69. And Colombia actually thought they won it in stoppage time where Davinson Sanchez headed in a corner. VAR ruled it just offside. And it was very close, really, really close. Sorry, I think it's just one of those things where VAR kind of annoys the game because me and my kids were just like completely shell shocked with what happens. And then, yeah, things just changed. There was an interesting point that Wayne Rooney actually said on the BBC straight after the game. And he said, Portugal looked disconnected from the attack. And that's exactly what we were talking about. And I think Rooney, who's been a strong advocate for Ronaldo, actually suggesting that shows that there needs to be something that needs to change for Portugal to progress.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree.
Yeah, that's that game done. We'll move on to the next game. So essentially, we have the next game on the list is DR Congo versus Uzbekistan. This was an interesting game where Uzbekistan came out and scored the goal, and you thought, "What if there's a magical moment yet to come in this contest?" And then Congo just was too strong later on. They just came in and they scored 3 goals to actually go ahead and win the game. I don't know if you saw the Wissa's third in the 90th minute was a screamer, absolute screamer.
It was a delicate touch, yeah, definitely. Get a double, Wissa as well. So yeah, it was good to see him in the scoring charts. So he is a good player. He hasn't really done much for Newcastle that season gone. So it's good to see him again scoring.
Yeah, it was a good game overall, and it's going to be fun to see how DR Congo face up against England in the next round, and sad chance for Uzbekistan. And as I should have said in the previous round as well, we have Colombia going through, and Colombia don't have an easy face off. I think Colombia face Ghana in the next round, so that's not going to be an easy game. Just another parallel I would like to draw just to complete the connection. Colombia face Ghana, and Ghana is managed by Carlos Queiroz, who recently managed Colombia as well. So that's another whole thing in the other round. And DR Congo going through to the next round to play against Portugal. Be interesting to see what happens there. Right. I think it's time for a quick hydration break, listeners. Halfway through the final stages of the group stage, let's take a breath. While you're here, we just want to let you know we've covered every single day through the World Cup, and we're just getting started. I think the glory days of the World Cup are here. If this show has been part of your tournament, support us at buymeacoffee.com/food-and-review. We would love even a 5-star review. If you could just pop that on there, that'll be great. Let's go back into the show. Back in 3, 2, 1. Right, James. Let's move on to the other game that we had was a Messi show with no Messi there. Jordan 1, Argentina 3. Scaloni made 9 changes and left Messi on the bench. Lo Celso opened the scoring with a left-footed free kick. Beautiful free kick in the 19th minute. Lautaro Martinez scored, doubled it from a penalty spot in the 30th. In the 55th minute, Altaimir scored the first goal against Argentina. And this is the first goal Argentina has conceded all tournament. Messi was introduced in the 59th minute. 21 minutes later, he stepped up for a free kick and curled one into the bottom corner. His 19th World Cup goal, the first player in history to score in 7 consecutive World Cup matches. What a player. What a player. And some brilliant free kicks in this game as well, James. Did you see Lo Celso's free kick?
Yeah, definitely. It was a very, very good free kick. He's got that in his locker, though. You've seen that in glimpses in Spurs and back in the day with Villarreal. But Messi, I believe he's got 6 World Cup goals now.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic start. Great to see Messi. It was really his home World Cup, isn't it? He plays his club football out here in America, so he knows what it's going to be about. No surprises for him, and he's certainly lived up to it. Lived up to the hype for this tournament, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. I think introducing him late on just to get those movements going, and he just came on, made a difference. And it looked like he just literally came on, maybe as we just discussed, that they just conceded a goal, and it seemed like there could be a touchy time. And then I think just looking at Messi coming onto the pitch kind of demoralizes your opponents. And yeah, Messi just came on, just glided through, and yeah, Argentina through. And it's interesting, without Messi, they still scored through 2 goals. So there's a lot left in the tank for this team, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and especially they've got a very, very favourable side to the draw. Let's point that out. So yeah, we can see them going very, very far.
That's correct. And look, the next round for Messi and co is Cape Verde. Is there going to be a giant killing on the cards, James? What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't put it past Cape Verde. You know, they've certainly surprised a lot of people in this tournament. You would obviously need to think Argentina, really, to be honest, Shaq. But you never know. We could get maybe a Cape Verde penalties victory.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Watch this space. I'll be curious to see how that game goes on. Right, we'll move on to game number 6. It's a lot of games to cover, so we'll try and be quick on this one as well. But this particular game was scintillating towards the end. Algeria 3, Austria 3. 6 goals, 2 late equalizers, and Iran eliminated. Arnautovic put Austria ahead on 28. Belgali leveled at halftime. Civica made it 2-1 to Austria on 55. Mahrez equalized again on the 60th. Then I must say, I went back and watched this game again, James. If anyone has the time and you've got this game on demand, just watch this game from the 88th minute onwards, 88th minute to the 92nd, 93rd minute. It is crazy because for those 5 minutes, all you see is Algeria holding the ball at the halfway line, passing the ball left to right for 5 whole minutes. All they did was pass the ball left to right. And all you were seeing was Austrian defenders just changing the shape. And it was like they were having a two to tango dance, just going left and right, left and right. That went on for 5 minutes. And then one killer pass. Mahrez goes in and scores a goal. It's almost like Algeria and Austria had a gentleman's agreement, which was broken. Literally, Mahrez scores the goal. Iran are through. Austria are out. 1 minute later, the ball goes on the other side of the pitch and Austria equalize. And Iran are out and Austria and Algeria are both through. Excellent. And even the commentators, the crowd, myself, everyone is completely shocked at the ending of this particular game. So, listener, if you have about 5 minutes spare, I would strongly urge you to watch the last 5 minutes of this particular game back. Watch it live, watch it in full to see the actual effect taken. Your thoughts on the game, James?
Yeah, it was just electric, wasn't it, Shaq? Absolutely electric. They scored twice and then they took the lead with Algeria. Then, like you said, the last minute heartbreak. It was overall a fantastic game. Austria needed to draw. They could not lose, so they got there in the end. But a fantastic match.
Yeah, completely. This is what the World Cup's all about. And it was a lot of. You do feel really, really sorry for Iran, who's been eliminated, but yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, you know all about that, James, as you face heartbreakers with Scotland leaving as well. But it is what it is. You were there.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
there. You experienced the joys. It's okay. You'll be back in 4 years.
Let's
You
hope
will.
so, Shaq.
You will. You will. Right. Moving along, we have our regular segment, which is baller, bottler, and drama for today. So James, correct me if I'm wrong. The baller for today, for me, was Colombia. Colombia finished the group stages with 7 points, unbeaten record, the best performance by any South American team in the group stages of the tournament. Yesterday, they faced Portugal, a side with Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, Ruben Diaz. The list goes on and on and on. But Colombia were fantastic. And you were discussing this as well. We were thinking about the fullback, Munoz, and the other guy that you had tipped today as well, the Ayari. No, not Ayari. I'm not getting his name. The
John Arias
uh,
scores
Arias,
usually.
yes.
Yeah, that has the long shots and it's certainly with accuracy as well.
He was phenomenal today. He was so good on the right hand side, and he was perfect to support James Rodriguez doing whatever James Rodriguez wanted to do. And Arias was just excellent, impeccable. He didn't put a foot wrong the whole match. And Colombia was a brilliant watch. And I hope that they go as far as they could possibly go. Hey John, hey James.
Yeah, definitely. It's about time Colombia had a good run again in the World Cup knockouts. I think maybe the last time it was maybe in 2010s. I might be wrong, maybe a wee bit more recent, but it'd be good to see them flying again. And
Yeah.
especially, James Rodriguez, this might be his last ever tournament.
Yes, exactly. You still remember the 2014 tournament where he was already popular by playing in Portugal, but that particular tournament, he just took the tournament by storm in Brazil, and he was the highlight of that particular tournament. And he's still playing in 12 years on. So all power to him. There's also Quintero who came on to replace James Rodriguez, who was excellent as well. Right.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the bottler. And I think we've discussed the bottler. Who were the bottlers the last time we recorded as well, which is Portugal. And we can't really blame Ronaldo because again, it's not really a Ronaldo issue. It's a system issue. It's just not working. And I don't think this team can go for too much further. We've discussed this in nauseum, but any issues with my pick bottler of the day?
No, sadly, we'll have to agree, Shaq.
Yeah, it is. We really have to go. I think we have to start questioning Ronaldo's presence if it's actually hurting Portugal's chances of going deep. But we'll find out. He might score a complete screamer and change the whole thing. And the drama for today is the Algeria 3 and Austria 3. I think I've explained that in great detail as to exactly what happened. All I can say is this is a drama-filled last 5 minutes. As I said, listener, just go back and watch the game. You'll understand how much of a drama this game produced, and all power to it. Games like this don't come very often. Right. So the only game we have for tomorrow is South Africa versus Canada. South Africa have the cruel task of playing a home nation again. They had Mexico in their first game, and they have Canada in the first knockout game. Any thoughts on that game before we head out to the sunset, James?
What do you make of Canada not playing at home? Their home nation, they've got through at the knockouts, and they've. What do you think, Shaq?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's just the way the draw crumbles. But I think I am with you there, where well, it would be nice for them to get some home advantage. But how long can you give that home advantage? Just imagine if that was, say, yeah, it's a tricky one because when you have a World Cup, say you have a World Cup in Brazil, and if Brazil qualifies to the final, Brazil will be playing at home on the final. So it is I think they should be playing at home. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. Without a
Yeah,
doubt. Yeah.
I completely agree.
But it'll be a tough match anyway. A lot of people expect Canada, but don't rule out South Africa.
You think so? You think South Africa still has a chance?
Well, they've certainly surprised people already in this World Cup. So, yeah, I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's I think it's happening in LA, so you would hope that the more people from Canada would travel down to watch their team play in a knockout stage, but hey, we'll see what happens there. It'll be a fun game regardless. Right. So day 17 is done. The group stages are over. I can't believe they're actually over, James. 48 teams now becomes 32. So essentially the World Cup actually starts now, I think.
You could say that, yeah, it's a good spin on it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's going to be knockout from now. Oh, it's going to be fun. So Messi has 19 goals, and World Cup final will have to be Messi and Ronaldo so they can meet one final time. Lots of good games to come. We've got Netherlands versus Morocco, Japan, Brazil, USA, Bosnia. Oh, I can't wait to get into it all. Well, the knockout stages are here, and we will see you, listener, and we will dissect all the games as they come. Have a wonderful one. Thanks.